Welcome back. You are tuned into Bray and Jay in the morning here on ESPN2, and today we will be discussing the NBA playoffs and giving our predictions based on what we've already seen in this year's playoffs. This is my co-host, Jersey Eckhorst.
AKA Jay. How you guys doing? I'm becoming the Eastern Conference today, and the Cavs are looking real good in the Eastern Conference. Swept the first two rounds, 8-0. I don't think anybody's going to be stopping them. And the Raptors lead the series 2-1 over the Miami Heat, and they are playing right now. And it's surprising in the Raptors series because Lowry and DeRozan actually decided to show up this time, and Dwayne Wade is playing like Dwayne Wade of old. I've been thinking to myself if the Cavs will go undefeated the whole time, and I think LeBron and company are looking very strong no matter who takes this.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Cleveland, if they continue to shoot and keep up this hot shooting, I mean, they've had a player the last 3 games make over 7 threes, and that's kind of hard to compete with when you have that much firepower. And I mean, Kevin Love's really coming into his own. J.R. Smith's coming off the bench, just doing what he does best, is shooting the ball. And Kyrie and LeBron are really meshing well together. So they're looking pretty hard to defeat right now.
And just a couple days ago, the Miami Heat announced that Chris Bosh will be out for the remainder of the season, despite Bosh wanting to return to play. And it's rumors that it was health issues, being blood clots in his leg, so he'd be a big X factor in any of these Heat series.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing that happened to him last year. He just same blood clots just forming in his body. But honestly, what I'm looking at in that series is Jonas Valanciunas and Hassan Whiteside are both ruled out for tonight's game.
Yeah.
One with a knee injury, one with a high ankle sprain. So both the big fellas out for tonight. We'll see if the guards for either or team can take over and win themselves another game.
Now let's hear a little bit about the Western Conference.
In the Western Conference, in the first round, Golden State took care of the Rockets 4-1. It seemed pretty effortlessly. I mean, they did most of it without Steph because he's been hobbled with injuries. I think he hurt his ankle in the first couple games, and then he sprained his knee. And he's been out since then. They're actually playing Portland right now in the second round of the playoffs. They're up 2-1, and it's looking like they can take a 3-1 lead because Klay's been playing out of his mind, and they're just a deep team overall. So, I mean, my opinion is they don't play Steph until they really need him.
They shouldn't have much trouble getting past this round, but in the next round, they'll need Steph to come back, especially if they want another ring in the finals.
Definitely. I mean, OKC took care of the Mavericks in 5 games, and then the Spurs swept a short-handed Grizzlies team. So they're both going at it right now. The series is tied 2-2. It's looking really tough though for San Antonio to stop KD and Russell Westbrook. I mean, that's a duo that is a force to be reckoned with right now.
Yeah, they are playing very well together.
I mean, KD just came off a 41-point game, shut Kawhi Leonard down in the 4th quarter. And without Kawhi, honestly, the Spurs are relying on Tony Parker heavily because Tim Duncan has been a no-show this series. Last game, he had 0 points, 4 fouls in 12 minutes. That's the first time in his career that he hasn't scored in a playoff game. And it's just not looking like they have the firepower to match what the Thunder bring to the table with KD, Durant, and then their bench, Randy Foye. Deion Waiters has been playing really well. Serge. I mean, they have a lot of weapons. And the Spurs just look old right now. I mean, they won it was 2-1, so it's 2-2, so it's actually an even series, but it just seems like the Thunder should be up 3-1.
Yeah.
And because they lost the game. Spurs didn't win game 2, the Thunder lost that, in my opinion.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
The Spurs are going to need LaMarcus Aldridge to step up if they want to take this game 5.
Yeah, and they really need to just focus on moving the ball because they've had some silly turnovers, and they aren't really playing the Spurs offense that we're so accustomed to seeing over the last few years, actually decade, to be honest. But no, I'm looking for. I think OKC will pull that out, and they'll face the Golden State Warriors because I think the Warriors will finish that series out in 5. I don't see Portland winning another game unless they win tonight at home in Game 4. That'd be a big win. I feel like if they win that game, then the Warriors definitely need to bring Steph back.
So, will you be predicting a finals rematch of last year?
It just depends on Steph Curry's health because I feel like if he's not 100%, the Spurs and the Thunder are a lot better teams than the Portland Trailblazers are. And if they're struggling with the Trailblazers without Steph, I don't think a hobbled Steph Curry would really affect that series with either the Spurs or the Thunder the way that Golden State fans hope. But I do see Cleveland coming out of the East. They're just so dominant right now. I just don't see a team in the Raptors or the Heat really competing with them. And I honestly think that they could bring the brooms out again and sweep another team.
Yeah, they very easily could. Well, you heard it here first from Bray and Jay in the morning. Have a good morning.
Domenic here, ABC 7 News, here with Kobe Bryant. Kobe, just here to talk about some of the highlights of your career and to see things kind of through your eyes. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Dom. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Jump right into it. Number 8 or number 24, which number do you think you kind of, played best in and kind of, peaked in?
I mean, I think it's got to be 24. It's the one I've been wearing the most. I won my championships with it. It's the one that I retired with. One most people will recognize me for. So I'd say 24 is just the one I, played my best ball on. So.
You played good ball in both, I'd say. And then number 24, you kind of stake your claim winning some championships. What do you think was a defining moment in your career, Kobe?
I think the defining moment for my career, which a lot of people would say could be the MVP, it could be my first championship or my back-to-backs with Shaq, but I'd say it's passing Michael Jordan on the scoring list. I mean, he was the guy I always strived to be. I watched him growing up when I was playing, and he was always molding my game after him, just competing against him in my mind every game, every rep. So when I finally beat him in the career scoring list, that was a big deal for me, and I think that was the biggest accomplishment.
An awesome moment it was. And you kind of clashed with Michael. Was he, in your opinion, the hardest player for you to guard?
He was definitely up there. He is very good with the ball, very athletic, a jumper. Everybody knows the slam dunks he has, and he was just really smart with the ball. He always would take a shot, always find some way to get open. But more recently, I'd say that Steph Curry is getting near that level. He's very good at moving around, getting the ball up, and so quick that he's getting really difficult to guard nowadays.
Two amazing athletes you mentioned right there. And switching sides kind of to the other side of the ball, the best defensive player you think you played against?
I mean, that's difficult because not a lot of guys play good defense against Kobe Bryant, but I'd say AI was probably the most difficult. He was really good at just stealing the ball, very athletic, very quick, and just really smart about basketball. Everybody knows him as a scorer, but his defense, he was strong there too. So
Scrappy as well. And then going back to 2009 when you won that NBA championship without Shaq, did you feel vindicted at that moment a little bit?
I mean, I don't think so. It's a sport. When you win championships, you win championships. It's like that's just what you do. So when you win, you win. It doesn't matter who you have with you. If you're the winner, you're the winner.
And then just a little fun question here to end it off. If you could have played with any team other than the Lakers, what do you think? What team do you think that would be?
That's a difficult one, but probably the team that drafted me, the Hornets. That'd be really interesting. They moved after I got traded. They moved out of Charlotte, but I think maybe if I had stayed, they would have had a little bit more revenue, a little bit more attention. The best player in the league, so it would have been interesting to see how the market would have grown there. But you never know. History's history, right?
Interesting it would have been, Kobe. Domenic here for ABC 7 News, signing off.
Welcome to this week's Top 10 Moves of the First Round, brought to you by NBA.com. Number 10, Gerald Henderson of the Trailblazers takes it to the basket. Michael Jordan-esque, goes up with the left and brings the ball back to the right to roll it past Cole Aldridge. Number 9, James Harden puts Andre Iguodala through the spin cycle with his lethal step back. And Harden does what he does best, and that's cook. Number 8, Amari Stoudemire going back in time, hitting Cody Zeller with the jab step spin and slamming it home. Number 7, Ty Lawson crosses Corey Joseph and drops a no-look dime to Ian Mahinmi, who throws down the monster two-handed jam. Number 6, Tony Parker showing off the fancy moves and spins past Zach Randolph in traffic for the sweet layup.
Coming in at number 5,
Goran Dragic passes it ahead to Justice Winslow on the break, and he shakes Frank Kaminsky with a smooth Euro step and finish with the left hand. Such a nice move. Coming in at number 4, KD gets the ball on the wing and swings past Justin Anderson to throw down a monstrous right-handed reverse. Look at that play. Beautiful. At number 3, Kyrie denies the screen with a nifty crossover on Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, then crosses Aaron Baines for a scoop finish. Number 2, Kemba isolates Ulal Deng with a crafty in-and-out move to a smooth right-handed finger roll off the high glass. And coming in at number 1, Marcus Smart swings it around the perimeter to Evan Turner, who drops Jeff Teague with a nice behind-the-back dribble and then hits the 15-foot pull-up. Look at him talk as he walks back.